What's going on, my trainer club? Today we're going to check out the Legends of Arceus. What does that mean in Pokemon Go? So with all that said, let's jump right in. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that Arceus is going to be coming out because of the Legends of Arceus game that is going to be dropped here very soon in the upcoming days? So is that going to correlate to an event in Pokemon Go? What do you guys think? I'll give you guys a second to think that one over. All right, well, let's get right into it. So as of right now, Arceus is going to have some clothing coming out for the avatar items for Pokemon Go. So these avatar items are not even for sale. They're going to be available to all trainers from the Legends of Arceus main characters in the game. So I hope you guys are excited for that game. Unfortunately speaking, I don't have better news to announce than Arceus is not confirmed to be coming out. Nothing's going on with that Pokemon, but I figure we might as well use this video to kind of check out Arceus in Pokemon Go, see what its stats look like, see all the typings that it can get, and then see what it may become when it comes out into Pokemon Go. So as of right now, Arceus has a ton, obviously, as you guys do know. If you don't know, Arceus has a ton of different forms. And a lot of speculation from my behalf is that Furfrou was the first test to make sure that Arceus could have a form change in Pokemon Go, because with all the forms, which we're going to check out here in a second, I think it would be absolutely complete overkill to try to raid for all of those different forms. So the Furfrou form change, I think, was the exact thing needed in Pokemon Go, and it did implement pretty well to be able to get Arceus in Pokemon Go, even if they still limit different geo regions or whatever that is. You have to be in this region to be able to form change the Arceus into fire. You have to be in the desert. If you want the water, you have to be in a water biome. I think that would be extremely cool, and I think that would really give a sense of travel to be able to get that different type of Pokemon. So for the trim change on the Furfrou, it was pretty nonchalant and pretty easy to do so. All it did cost was 10,000 Stardust and 25 Furfrou candy to be able to trim change it. But we're now talking about Arceus. So we're gonna start doing a little bit of speculation, a little bit of stat analysis, and to see what Arceus could be or could not be in Pokemon Go. So as far as this goes, if we are looking at 10,000 and 25 candy, I would say for a legendary form change, we are looking at least 100,000 and at least 100 candy. I couldn't see it being any less than that. If it went to 50,000, I mean, it's still kind of steep, but you could still maybe change that a couple times and not really think too much about it if you guys have been following my Stardust tips. But if it goes to 100,000, now you'd have to think about it, because you do 10 trim changes or form changes or whatever they're gonna call it. Now we're looking at a bunch of Stardust made out of your bag in order to just change one of them over. So obviously, I think we will be able to raid for it, unless they do treat it as the mythical that it is and they don't treat it as like a Darkrai mythical. And what they do make us do is only get one from GoFest, maybe two, and then you have to choose which form you're going to use it as. Drop in the comments and let me know, do you guys think they're going to mass raid for it? Or do you think that they are going to give it to us as a mythical Pokemon from like an event bonus, and then we will only get one or two, which would then force us to change the forms when we do want to use it as something specific? I sure hope it's the raid part, because having one and constantly having to spend Stardust to change it, I think would be kind of a buzzkill for this type of Pokemon. So let's look at Arceus. The number one main form is going to be normal form, and then we'll check out the forms, and then we'll go on to the stats and we'll see where does it sit in comparison to a bunch of other Pokemon. It's going to max out at 4,510 as of right now. It still has a potential to be nerfed. I was looking through Game Press. I did see an article say that if Arceus does get stat nerfed, it's going to have similar stats to Rhyperior because of the 9% consistent nerf that usually comes out on these Pokemon, which, if that is the case, would be slightly disappointing. It has an attack of 238, a defense of 238, and a stamina of 237. So if we do check out this Pokemon, it's pretty much all even keeled. Let's just call it 238 for everything, right? So there's nothing that it's excelling in, and there's nothing that it's really like decelling in. It's really looking good and consistent for a lot, and that high CP value of 4510 does also look pretty good. So let's see where its stats do rank. The attack value will be ranked 138, the defense will be ranked 39, and the stamina will be ranked 49. So since that attack value is not even in the top 50, and then if it does get that 9% stat debuff, we are looking at a very mediocre Pokemon, which in my opinion, we're looking at Arceus. I'm like, man, this Pokemon's got to be an absolute beast. But unfortunately, sometimes these Pokemon do come out that you think would be monsters and just don't quite stack up. And as of right now, that's where this Pokemon is looking. And then if we want to check out the forms of the Arceus, we have Bug, Dark, Dragon, Electric, Fairy, Fighting, Fire, Flying, Ghost, Grass, Ground, Ice, Poison, Psychic, Rock, Steel, and Water. In totality, we are looking at 18 different forms. So also, I just want to point out that it seems like Arceus, if they do go about it as it is right now, with these stats, with a nerf, it does look like a much more viable PvP type Pokemon, and I'm not so sure that they're going to allow this Pokemon, even though it has form changes. It could be strong against itself and weak against itself, depending on which form you're going to try to pick. I think that's probably where it's going to sit for the most part, because if we go ahead and check out the DPS times TDO of Arceus, let's check it out right now. It is going to sit as follows. With the Shadow Claw and Hyper Beam, it's going to sit at 1747. So 1747 as of right now is the highest value. Iron Tail Hyper Beam at 1376. Then we have Shadow Claw Outrage at 1272. Then we have Iron Tail Outrage at 1117. Then we have Shadow Claw and Future Sight 1113. And then Iron Tail and Future Sight at 925. So when we do talk about meta raid attackers, guys, we really talk about the values being for the normal type Pokemon without the Shadow forms and out the Megas. Obviously, it is going to have to be at least around 2500 to be one of the top, and preferably it would be around 3000 and above. That's going to give it the best impact, and with this one being about 1750, it's not quite stacking up. But if you do look at that moveset, we do get Outrage, Shadow Claw, as well as Future Sight. I mean, that's a pretty good PvP moveset combination, especially if it comes out on this normal type Pokemon. So for me right now, looking at this Pokemon, it does look like it would be a much better viable option for the Go Battle League. But just to be fair, let's compare it against stats of other Pokemon in a couple of the other meta attackers just to see where it might stack up. So just remember 238, 238, and 237. Let's go ahead and start off with the Xerneas. Xerneas' attack is higher, its defense is lower, and its stamina is a little bit higher. So a little bit more as an attacker. Let's check out the Mewtwo, which is obviously a dominant attacker. Look at that attack value at 300, and then we have 182 and 214 in comparison. So the attack is well above, but the defense and stamina are lower. Then if we do check out the Giratina Origin form, which is the pretty much top ghost type attacker in the game, we have 225 for the attack, which is lower actually, defense which is lower, and stamina which is well above. Then if we're going to go look at Reshiram, it has an attack of 275, which is pretty well above. The defense is 211 and 205, which is below the Arceus. Then we have the same exact stats on the Zekrom. And then if we're going to go ahead and check out Conkeldurr, 243 on the attack, 158 on the defense, and 233 on the stamina. So if we do check out a couple of those Pokemon right there, and then we just say we're going to give it some ghost moves, let's say it gets the premier ghost move of Shadow Claw as well as Shadow Ball, and then we compare it to this Giratina Origin form, it's actually going to be better, but this is not before, I don't believe, the stat debuff that will happen. So it's a big shakeup, but I'm really excited, and I really was hoping that Arceus would make at least its normal form debut into Pokemon Go for this event, but unfortunately it's just going to be the avatar items. But I figure why not check out Arceus in Pokemon Go to see where it might stack up. And like I said, if it doesn't get the form changes, or if it's banned from Go Battle League in the form changes, the normal form, if it does maintain that moveset, is looking, I think, pretty good. So drop in the comments and let me know what your feelings are about Arceus. When do you think it's going to come out, since it's not going to come out for this time frame? So thank you guys for being here. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody who takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level, I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.